Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that's, well, it's really personal and honestly super misunderstood. What it's actually like to heal after a toxic, narcissistic relationship. We're going to break down the powerful, often invisible forces that make this journey feel so impossibly long. So, let's just get right to the heart of it with the one question that so many people ask themselves over and over again. Why does it take so long? Why does the hurt stick around, even when you know, logically, that the relationship was destroying you? It's a huge question, and today, we're going to unpack it. Okay, so to really get this, the source material we're looking at gives us this amazing metaphor that's going to frame our whole conversation. I want you to stop thinking of this as just a bad breakup. Instead, think of it as being completely lost at sea. So picture this, right? You're on a ship, and this ship has been out at sea for years. It hasn't seen a port, it's just been sailing. It's all you've known. Now, it might be broken down, totally unstable, and incredibly lonely, but it's your whole world. That ship, that's the relationship. So you're probably thinking, okay, just jump off, right? Swim to shore. But here's the catch. The captain of the ship, the narcissist, has spent all this time convincing you that the ocean is just swarming with hungry sharks. They've told you that the world outside this relationship is a terrifying, awful place where you can't survive. And that fear is what keeps you on board, even while the ship is literally falling apart around you. All right, so with that image of the lost ship locked in our minds, let's talk about what's going on inside you. Let's talk about the internal barriers, these invisible chains of the mind and heart that make it so hard to even think about jumping. You know, there's this quote from our source that it hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures what it feels like to be in that relationship. You're trying so hard to build something, to fix it, to make it work, while the other person is actively tearing it all down. It's designed to be an exhausting, hopeless cycle that just drains you of everything you have. So let's break down what these internal chains actually are. First, you've got this cognitive blindness. It's like you're wearing blinders, and the only thing you can see is the narcissist. Then there's the false hope, that little voice that whispers, but maybe they'll change this time. Maybe if I just do this one thing differently. And then there's pathological attachment. This is the one that's so confusing, right? It's that gut-wrenching feeling of missing the very person who's causing you all this pain. And the whole thing is held together by a deep, deep dependency, where your sense of who you are gets completely tangled up with them. And get this isn't just a feeling or something you can just snap out of. The constant chronic stress from the manipulation can actually physically change your brain. We're talking about the frontal lobe, the part of your brain that handles decision-making, planning ahead, and staying focused. It gets compromised. So when you feel like you can't think straight or figure out a way to leave, that's not a weakness. It's a real physiological side effect of the abuse. So while all of that is going on inside of you, the narcissist is actively working on you from the outside. They have a playbook, and they use very specific tactics to keep control and make the idea of leaving feel totally impossible. And it is absolutely a calculated process. It happens in steps. Step 1, they isolate you. Your friends, your family, anyone who might say, "Hey, are you okay?" They get pushed away. Step 2, they create chaos. They blow up your routines, keep you on edge, so you never feel stable enough to plan anything for yourself. And step 3, and this ties right back to our metaphor, they instill fear, constantly telling you how scary the world is and how you'd never make it without them. And what if you do get away? What if you manage to jump off that ship? Well, that's when they often pull out a tactic called hoovering. Yeah, just like the vacuum cleaner. They try to suck you right back in. They'll flood you with promises, fake apologies, even grand gestures and gifts, which, by the way, are often bought with your own money. It's all designed to hook into that false hope and that painful attachment we just talked about. And see, this all brings us right back to that lost ship and those hungry sharks. Every single one of these external tactics is meant to reinforce one idea, that staying on that broken, miserable ship is the only safe choice you have. So it all boils down to this really messed up trade-off they've created in your mind. On the one hand, you have life on the ship. This is what we call false security. It's awful, sure, but it's predictable. It's the devil you know. On the other hand, you have life in the sea, and that represents a manufactured fear. The narcissist has worked so hard to paint this picture of hungry sharks, making you believe that the unknown out there is way, way worse than the known misery right here. So what happens when someone finally does it? They escape. They jump off that sinking ship and start swimming for their lives. Is it over? Not even close. The journey has just begun, and the healing is delayed because the damage runs so deep. And this right here is why recovery is such a long, winding road. You're not just getting over a breakup. Survivors are often dealing with complex PTSD from being in a state of trauma for so long. They've suffered a total loss of their own identity. They often have no support system because they were isolated. There's financial dependency, these deep implanted feelings of guilt and failure, and of course, a massive fear of the unknown. Healing from all of that, well, it just takes time. So look, if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's that the feeling of being trapped, it's real. The reasons healing takes so long, they are valid. That ship is lost, and yeah, the sea looks terrifying. But here's the most important part. That safe shore, it absolutely exists. It's not a myth. So the real question isn't whether it's out there. The real question is, how do you begin the journey to find it?